at all. Showing that expansion from quite far. 21 kills, a commander tank commanding the small fleet of Marines. It's being made in the production tab. 15 Bailings morphing in, a ton of Bailings, and about 4 Mutalisks. This third Expo hasn't really been doing much at all, pretty much dead weight. Should have been transferring some probes. Oh, there you go, transferring drones. And a huge attack, all that really Stimuli has. 4 Marines and 8, 9, 10, 11 Marines going, picking up the Marines, going for a drop, or maybe just trying to pick those Marines up. What? What? Ah, another matter, saving all the Marines. Smart play. Third Expo coming up 13 minutes into the game. Red Spell is in a very good position. 1 siege tank and a wall of supply depots. Any counterattacks they'll have to answer through this wall or go all the way around, taking tremendous fire from those siege tanks. The drop going in, taking out some queens and Mutalisks. Oh, why? We should be retreating with those Mutalisks, not running into a bunch of Marines. Marines just tearing up those Mutalisks like tissue paper. This +1 stim, combat shield, almost stunned, +1 armor in completion. Taking out the queen, this does not look very good for Stimuli. Having this third Expo maybe his only saving grace. A bunch of Bailings coming in from the south, kind of clean up all these Marines. Focus fighting the Bailings less, but will it go down in time? No, definitely not. Bailings spitting the green acid all over the Marines, just devouring them like Ultralists, but Ultralists don't die on contact. Again, floating 1,000 minerals and gas, a bit sloppy with the macro from Red Spiral. Tons of minerals. Looking, the main is oversaturated. Gonna be using those SCVs to saturate third base. Where will it go? Probably in the bottom left, as it is the safest. Or maybe up here, expanding toward the Zerg, putting a planetary fortress, getting some good positional ground. Making 2 more queens, as larva production from those queens has stopped completely after being sniped down by that medevac drop. The supply difference is 50, a huge supply gap, and unless Stimuli is able to do some incredible comeback or just macro like a freak, it will not be able to come back from that deficit. Just trying to drone up 800 minerals, floating so many minerals, not even producing from all the larvae. Medevac coming back, 22 health, not having any of her passengers though, as they all did die from those Banelings explosions. And a small drop occurring down here in the south for the third Expo of Zerg. How many drones will you be able to take out? Let's count. 1 drone. Maybe taking out the queen. Taking out the queen. 2 drones, 3 drones, 4 drones, 5, 6 drones, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is he doing? Running the drones into the Marines, trying to get us around, waiting for Zerg reinforcements to come. Fortunately, that will be enough. Bailing's too slow, not getting into the party. A third be coming down. Is it gonna be spotted? If that indeed does get spotted by Stimuli, he could launch a counterattack, taking down that third. With the amount of units Stimuli has, it's not nearly going to be enough to get him back into the game. 58 SCVs to 37 drones. Bit sloppy on macro for Red Spiral, floating so many minerals, but being in such the position he is right now, it doesn't seem like it'll matter all too much unless he does a huge blunder and throws away his whole army and his advantage. A bunch of SCVs transferring now. If only those Bailings came over and blew those SCVs away, shrapnel flying everywhere. That could be what he needs to get back into the game, taking down the backdoor rocks to have an easier access route to this third in the south. Looking at the production tab, +1 weapons almost for vehicles, almost done, +2 for Marines, a half almost just being started. Another tech lab coming on somewhere. Another third factory, 3 factories, and 7 barracks. Tons of production. Mutalist, did he spot this third expo. He sees the SCVs, not exactly the command center, but those SCVs being there is a dead giveaway. Probably going to be moving those mutalisks down to do some harassment, trying to get back into this game. 1,600 minerals for the red spiral, floating so many minerals, a constant theme in this matchup. It could come back to bite him. The supply count is still at a 50 food deficit for the stimuli. Coming down and sniping so many SCVs. How many will he take out? But will it be enough even if he does take out all those SCVs? And taking out tons of SCVs. A handful of Marines coming in with stim and combat shield +1, +2, +1, +1. Stimming and warding the mutalisks away. 2 mutalisks taking out the Reaper at the Zelnaga watchtower. Looking at the income tab, it is quite even. Stimuli being able to drone back up, trying to crawl his way back into this game. But will it be enough with so many mules, 3 orbital commands just shooting mules down on those minerals? It looks very bad for our Zerg player. Units that 52 Marines, 8 tanks. It's going to be able to rip through basically anything Zerg has. 1-1. +2 almost completed. 5 Marines coming out. Being supply block, not very good. Using a lot of that energy on extra supply drops. +2 vehicles should be on the way, and a lot of idle units at the main. These units, oh, they're probably stuck in here because of this tech lab. Not the best place. And coming down here, bringing 3 SCVs along to shell away at this expansion. If that expansion does go down, it will be indeed nights out for Stimuli, as that is his really, that and his Exo are his 2 only mining expansions. Only on 2 base against a 2 base Terran. Not looking very good. Sieging up the tanks with a bunch of Marines. And sieging up the tanks. No, loading up the medevac. Maybe going to be going for a drop. A bunch of mutas, but running into all those Marines, is that going to be a bad idea? Where are the Banelings at this time? Should be running the Banelings into those Marines, or at least not engaging with the mutalisks until those Banelings are in route. 4 medevacs in route. If those mutalisks pick off those medevacs, it'll be a huge win, but maybe not big enough for the Zerg player. Slung away at the expansion, a drop going for the main. Tons of lava saved up here, showing how macro is not being used to the fullest of extent. Dropping, Zerg player does see this drop. But how many losses will he take with these 2-1 Marines, a medevac, and stim going down? 1 mutalisk. And that's maybe 2, almost 2, no, 1 HP. That mutalisk is lucky to be alive. And a huge Marine tank ball up on this ledge. Not looking good at all. Floating so many minerals and gas. Definitely not the smoothest play that can be held. 3 missile turrets protecting this orbital command. No mutas are going to be able to take that down anytime soon. But regardless, there is a huge advance on the Met Expo. This is probably gonna be the final blow. A ton of Banelings coming in, having to stim the Marines and run them away, or will the Banelings eat all the Marines? That +1 weapons really showing for the siege tank, exploding all the Banelings. The Marines, not enough creep. If only there was creep, those Banelings could have done a lot more damage than they actually did in this engagement. Those 2 tanks, 23 kills. Commander, both probably commanders, taking out so many Banelings, being so cost effective with those tanks. And the mule is just flying into the Marines, making 2 Zerglings in production. Well, that will not be enough. Zerg player has pretty much given up hope and leaves the game. Well, that has been a ZBT. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you have any suggestions as how I can make this cast better, besides of course getting a new laptop or a mic, as I can't afford it. Well, hopefully my commentaries will give you some satisfaction and joy while waiting for other commentaries. But in the meantime, Good luck, have fun? Doesn't quite work, does it?